A very good morning to all participants. This is Dr. Raghavendra Yadav, Assistant Professor of Computer Science from College of Horticulture, Mudrabad. I take this opportunity to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Ashwin R. Sir completed his PhD and cleared net select in physical education. Sir has vast experience of 20 years, nearly 20 years in physical education. Achievements, sports achievements by Sir represented Gulbarga University at the All India Inter-University Tournament at Amritsar, represented Gulbarga University at South India Inter-University Tournament for 4 years, represented Dharwad district at the state level in netball and handball. As a coaching, Sir coached KUD badminton teams which won medals at South Zone Inter-University Tournament, coached the KUD and RCUB university teams in netball and handball, badminton, which have performed well at inter-university tournaments. So, officiating achievements by Sir, passed the state level referees exam in athletics, handball, and netball. Worked as official at various inter-university and many state and intercollegiate tournaments. Worked as a selection team member for various university teams and even at the state level team selection. So, research publications by Sir, member of the Karnataka State Physical Education Syllabus and Textbook Forming Committee. Next, published 3 books which have been recognized by Karnataka Handball and Karnataka Netball Association. Published and presented various papers at many international and national conferences and seminars. So, recognition and awards secured by Sir. Certified Level 4 Fitness Trainer organized by the Skill India Fitness Sector, Government of India. Awarded the Best Football Coach of Belgaum City by Darshan Groups. So, Sir is having also a membership, a member of various physical educational professional bodies like PEFI, NAPESS, etc. Member of the People's for Animal Right Group. Today, Sir is going to deliver lecture on functional training for everyday fitness. Sir, on behalf of College of Horticulture, Mundrabad and University of Horticultural Sciences, Bagalkot, we welcome you for this training session, sir. Sir, we are happy that you are going to provide a full knowledge on this topic. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ashwin, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Sir? Hello, sir?
Continue. Can I start the presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start presentation, sir. Please.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir, for the introduction. First of all, a very everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers and administrators of Horticulture Institute Bagalkot, Koppal, for having given me this opportunity to present before you a topic of my interest, that is functional fitness. I would also like to thank and a friend of mine for many years and having invited me to deliver this topic during this webinar series. I would also like to welcome all the learned participants at this webinar, and I definitely feel that there will be a takeaway from this topic. I'll be presenting the presentation. I've kept many of the most pictures in the PPT so that it will become monotonous. So I'll be just presenting the PPT and then on I will be starting off. Okay. So once again, good morning to everyone. Before I start this topic on functional fitness for everyday life, I would like to tell you that the percent of my this topic today's series. Back in the year 1997, when I was representing my university at the South Zone Inter-University Tournament at Bangalore, I met with an injury due to which there was a complete tear in my anterior cruciate ligament and a damage in my meniscus too. Hello? Hello?
Sir, continue, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, continue.
As I
Little
said,
bit loud.
yeah, sure.
Sir, louder, sir. Audio is loud. Please. Your voice is breaking. Little bit louder, sir.
Yeah, is it audible right now? Sir, is the audio audible? Hello? Sir, is the voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, okay, sir. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Okay. Then. Yeah, as I said, that there was a personal incident that took place for which that was the main reason that I have chosen this topic. During my inter-university tournament, I had suffered a ACL tear in my left knee, along with it, I had a meniscus damage. And the only option that I was told was surgery, that is orthoscopy at that time. But one of my uncle, who was a radiologist, he suggested me that orthoscopy was not that good because the success rate of the operation was not that good at that time. So he said instead of going for surgery, I better go for a recovery recovery option by doing some exercises to strengthen my adjoining muscles. So as that time age was on my side because I was hardly 20 years old, I thought of continuing with the injury without going for orthoscopy, and I started going for gym training and strengthening my adjoining muscles. I also started doing one thing. My left leg was a strong leg before the injury, so I started shifting from left leg to the right leg. I started intentionally jumping, landing, and hopping on my right foot. due to which I was able to continue with my day-to-day activities. But of late, like some 5 to 6 years back, again I started to have a pain in my left knee. That is when I thought of trying out some other options. And when I got to know about something called as the concept of functional training, I went through the details of functional training, and then I got to know that there are exercises which can help you to alleviate pain and also help us with our day-to-day activities. Since then, I have been a great fan of concept of this functional fitness concept personally, and that was the main reason for me choosing this topic for today's session. Personally, it has helped me both as a rehabilitative program and improve my fitness to carry on with my day-to-day activities with ease. So I'll be starting off with the topic right now. Before I start off with the topic, I just want to tell you about an article which was put up in a leading newspaper last month. The fitness industry is experiencing a renaissance. The machines have gone, the floor has been freed, and people are turning to functional training for an effective modern workout. One of the most influential fitness trends in the recent past is functional training. It works multiple groups at once while allowing you to tailor your own training towards a specific sport or an activity. Apart from this article, there were many articles that had cropped up in newspapers. I'm just quoting some of them. Poor Olaf Aston coined the term functional training in a landmark article titled Why Exercise? He stated, and I quote, "If animals are built reasonably, they should build and maintain just enough, but not more structure than they need to meet the daily functional requirements." In one more article on trends in fitness and wellness, Archer suggested that people need more of a sense of purpose for why they exercise and predicted that soon there will be blending of fitness and wellness. This basically shows that whatever we do, like whatever training program we use, there has to be a sense of purpose, without which it's not going to be effective. So today we are trying to discuss the basic points on what should we do, what should be done to improve our fitness for our day-to-day life. Let me tell the learned audience here that what I've tried to do is I've just kept the concept of functional fitness to the basic things. We are not venturing into the details of functional fitness concept, but trying to get to know the basic concept of functional fitness, which will be necessary for day-to-day activity and day-to-day fitness. So what here we have a question for you. While we definitely all have our own personal motivations and fitness goals, usually we take up general. Hello. Usually we generally the training program that we do generally falls somewhere between. First one is either we do training to look better. Second, maybe to feel better. And third one is an amalgamation of all the three, like to look good, at the same time be muscular, at the same time feel better, and main thing is perform better in our day-to-day activities. And today we shall focus on the training that will help us to address the last point, that is perform activities in our day-to-day life in a better way. Okay. Just imagine yourself in one of these situations. Definitely everyone has come across one of these situations. Like we go home, our kid runs to us, we need to hold him, toss him up in the air, or maybe sitting on a chair and trying to get up after a long time. Definitely we feel some pain and discomfort in doing these activities. And I'm sure that many of us have come across these situations in our life. If you can relate to any of these situations, then definitely you are not alone. In fact, that's why the concept of functional fitness has become so popular among people of all ages and all ability levels. It's not restricted to only one age group. Whether you are active and want to improve your ability to perform in sports or hobbies, or you are more sedentary and find yourself having trouble maintaining your independence with daily activities, then definitely the functional fitness program is for you. So before we start off with the basic concept of functional fitness, let us just go through why this concept of functional fitness started off. It should come as no surprise then to learn that one of the first examples of functional training can be traced way back to the ancient Greece. According to Jack Berryman, the physician Hippocrates would ask his patients to toss the ball to one another to relieve pain and illness. From the 1820s, evidence exists of physical trainers using calisthenics to improve postural defects, address digestive issues, and improve mental clarity through physical exercises. The registered therapists also used functional exercises in rehabilitation. When a person was injured and off work, like when he did not work because of the injury, therapists often used functional exercises to help prepare patients to return to their work without getting re-injured. The birth of what we today call as functional training in terms of exercise use can be related to the late 19th and the early 20th century. Two key pioneers in this regard were Dudley Allen Sargent and Gustav Zander. Sargent was the director of physical training at the Harvard Gymnasium, and he saw that there was a direct parallel between the manual labor and the physical health that were done by the people at that time. And that is how slowly the concept of functional fitness exercises started to be included in the the basic fitness regime programs, which later on proved to be effective and efficient. And hence the functional training came into limelight. As we have seen, the concept of functional training is not new because we have been saying that okay, it was being used right from the early days, right from the day of Hippocrates, as the records show. And it is not limited to only one aspect. It has a scope in rehabilitation, improving day-to-day fitness, improving sports performance, and even enhancing the lifestyle of adult population. But as I have already said, that today our main focus would be on how functional training helps us in improving our day-to-day fitness. So in today's topic, we are based the three questions like what, why, and how. What is functional training? Its meaning and definition. Why functional training is necessary? Then what are the components of functional training? Like what are the components that are being used in functional training? Principles of functional training. That's very important because every program is revolved around a principle, a specific principle. And even functional training has its own principles to be followed. Then benefits of functional training. How can an individual benefit from taking up a functional training program? And we will be looking into some of the exercises that were specific to functional training program. Okay, then moving on to the main thing, why was this functional training a necessity? What was the necessity for this functional training? We all know that nature has designed our body to be static so that it can perform our day-to-day tasks for our everyday life. Our ancestors were always fit because they spent most of their days staying active, walking. That's very easily visible in the pic right below. Our ancestors have always been fit because they have been spending their days staying active, walking and running many miles per day, gathering and preparing food, hunting, fishing, maybe playing sports, and holding athletic competitions too. And the list goes on actually. And when we come to the Indian context, in indigenous cultures for most of the history, movement was so heavily integrated into our daily life that the ancestors did not need a gym or special space for fitness. And when we talk about the Indian context, we have always seen that everything that our ancestors did was very scientific in nature. It's just that we do not know that, and we don't remember that, and we have been misled in adopting the Western ways. Simple basic things like washing clothes manually, the Indian toilet, even the Indian toilet where we had to sit by bending our knees, sweeping with a broomstick, which our women did in the earlier days, with a slight bend at the knees and the back, and likewise many other activities like sitting on the floor and folding your legs and having a food, took care of the functional fitness all by itself. You did not have to spend some extra time for it. But looking at the pictures here, today the world is definitely a bit, I mean, not a bit, but much more different. Because of our sedentary lifestyles, we need to focus on spending some extra time training in order to avoid becoming sick. With our modern lifestyle, diseases such as diabetes, obesity have been cropping up in a huge way. We all know that everyone leads different lives. Some may spend their days lifting and carrying objects, others work in factories, many others sit along at the desk or driving in a car. So almost looking at all the activities, almost everyone performs routine and familiar movements such as walking, standing up, sitting down, and bending over to retrieve something from the floor. And that's everyone, and that's the usual activity that everyone does. So hence we need to train ourselves to do such activities easily without undue fatigue and with no injury. And certainly when we speak of this thing, there's a very big fat question that stays us usually. What type of training? So whenever as a physicalist or a sports trainer or a fitness trainer or a coach, when we ask when we ask a layman to take up some physical activity, they definitely ask what about training. So when we are concerned with our day-to-day activities and fitness connected with it, then the question to be addressed is what about training? I think the answer should be very simple. The answer is that everyone should be training in a manner that relates to their individual goals. And if their goal is to be fit for everyday fitness, then definitely functional fitness is the answer. Okay, so we'll just go on to see the meaning and definition of functional fitness. We all know by definition, function means having a purpose or a duty. Therefore, the term functional can be defined as performing a practical or intended function or duty. Function should be considered in terms of a spectrum because ADL means activities of daily living. It involves many different tasks for many different people. What is functional to one person may not definitely be the same for another. So there's a very specific definition of functional training here. So functional training is defined as movements or exercises that improve a person's ability to complete their daily activities or to achieve a specific goal. According to the webmd.com, there's one more definition here. Functional fitness is focused on building a body capable of doing real life activities. Let me underline this statement once again. Building a body capable of doing real life activities in real life positions, not just lifting a certain amount of weight in an idealized posture created by a machine. This is one, what to say, meaning and definition of functional fitness which is very apt. So what does functional training exercises do? Functional training exercises trains the muscles to work together and prepares them for daily tasks by simulating common movements you might do at home, at work, or in sports. Looking at the pictures given below, we all see that we definitely come across these things like moving a heavy object on the floor, like be it a sofa or a cupboard, lifting our kids high up in the air, tossing them up, again holding them back, carrying weights, uneven weights on both the sides of the, or else something doing for fun, lifting children. So these are the situations that we usually come across in our day-to-day life. Yet many a times we are not able to perform them to the fullest. The main reason is it's not that we are not strong. Main reason I would say that we are not functionally fit to do such unpredictable situations. So, okay, looking at these pictures, this will give a definite idea about why functional fitness is necessary. For all those who usually go to the gym, you can easily recognize this exercise over here. So by doing these exercise or maybe doing a simple bicep curls, definitely we think that okay, we are strong enough to do or push any object on the floor or lift any object that is thrown up in the air. But when we come across a simple day-to-day situation like tossing up our child up in the air, tossing up usually seems easy, but catching him back is a bit awkward because of the weight and the child may imbalance himself. So that will be a problem. So going for gym machines does not help us to do this activity at the best. And this is where functional training helps. So what does functional training include? Functional training includes exercises that mimic the movements used in our day-to-day life. So whatever exercises are being designed in a functional fitness program are designed connected with these 7 day-to-day movements that a person undergoes in their day-to-day life, like a push, a lunge, a pull, maybe twisting the body. Gait is the posture that we keep in our day-to-day life. Maybe the posture that we have while walking, or maybe the posture that we have while running. Squatting and hip hinge. Hip hinge is bending at your hip. So these are the movements that we usually see in a person doing that it undergoes in our day-to-day life. And so functional training includes exercises that mimic these movements. So there's one more picture here which shows the primal pattern movements also. So even the movements that were done in earlier days also mimic the same activities. That they had to squat to prepare their food. They had to do lunges to pick up heavy objects. They had to bend in order to pick something. They had to twist. They had to pull large animals. So these were the movements even that were done even in the earlier times. But as we see, everything is not as simple as it seems. For every training method to be effective, there are certain principles to be followed, and the same holds good for functional training. To create a functional program, one must always set realistic goals and understand one's own weaknesses, the daily activities that he or she performs, and his or her limitations. So depending on all these factors, the principles are to be followed. So we will be looking out to the principles that are being followed while doing a functional fitness program. There are specifically 4 principles of functional fitness. The first one is movement specific exercises. Second one is multiplanar training. It means that training in all the planes of the body, strengthening the kinetic chain, and the fourth one is core balance and stability. So we will be looking out for the principles one by one. Coming to the first principle, movement specific. Movement specific means being specific or mimicking the target activity. So whichever target we are feeling that okay, we are not able to perform in a better way in our day-to-day life, we'll have to pick up such exercises which mimic the activity. So these include all of the appropriate joints as well as the speed and amplitude of movements too. The principle of specificity dictates that we train like we play or we train like we do. Most people use the same movement patterns throughout the day, as we all know. These movements can include walking, sitting, standing, and carrying objects. So the main we can think that movement-specific principle is one of the main principles of functional training. Like given below is a figure which shows exercises, which includes the exercises being done, which mimic the day-to-day activities. Like lifting a heavy object by lunging, throwing a kettlebell or holding a kettlebell, carrying a dumbbell one hand above the shoulder, doing a press. So these exercises will definitely help us in activities like pushing a car, maybe if you are in such a situation, or it's just taking up your feet on your back and doing some push-ups. Moving on to the second principle, training in all planes. We all know that we have three planes in the body, that is frontal, sagittal, and transverse plane. Uh, this training, the functional training program definitely helps us to prepare for the functional demands. It helps us to integrate movement patterns by training in all these planes. Because we have these three planes, we call life is a three-dimensional thing. Usually all the individuals are subjected to reaching, bending, leaning, turning, twisting, stooping, and changing directions constantly. We all continuously face challenges in the frontal, sagittal, and transverse plane. And that is why we have to see that exercises that we choose are connected with these planes. Like any exercise that we do should be done in which includes one of these planes. Like when you do exercise, see that it's not isolated. It has a movement connected with it. So these are some of the exercises which show how can we exercise in all the planes. Like medicine ball, using a medicine ball, we can go do a wood chopper. We can lunge and twist at the same time. Okay, moving on to the third principle, kinetic chain. We all know that whenever a work is to be done, it is usually well done when there is a continuity in the process of doing the work. Likewise, when the body is especially doing a movement of like lifting a heavy object, like there's a diagram showing here. Whenever we are lifting a heavy object, it is usually easily done when the weight is shifted and lifted in a continuity. The energy is transferred right from the calf muscles to the thighs to the core muscles of your body, and the same force is then shifted to the arms, due to which you shift the body, you shift the weight from the ground to the. Moving on to the next principle, strengthening the kinetic chain. Sorry, core balance and stability. We all know that a strong core is definitely important to do all the activities, irrespective of whether you are running, whether you are walking, whether you are sitting, jumping. We all know that a strong core definitely helps, and this is one of the main principles of functional fitness too. A functional core routine consists of dynamic movements, isometric exercises, and challenges the center of gravity. Because whenever the core is in subject, what happens is whenever we are doing movements, the center of gravity of our body shifts from one level to the other level. So exercises that we should always see that whenever exercises are to be done, center of gravity shifts, and for that you need a strong core. So these are basically four main principles on which the whole base of or the whole concept of functional fitness is being designed. So moving on to the next thing, whenever we do exercises following these principles, so what happens? The nervous system is working properly. Whenever we ensure that these exercises are being done, definitely this ensures that the nervous system is working properly and that all parts of the body are used in the appropriate manner with the correct muscles firing at the right time. Like firing in the sense, working at the right time. Just to ensure that all the multi-joint and multiplanar exercises are included, as this recruits the body's stabilizers and facilitate easy movement. The body's movements are not hampered due to flexibility and posture issues. Active, dynamic, static, and proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation and stretching are key factors and should always be included in any type of training program. And when it comes to functional fitness, it holds the same way. Moving on to the benefits of functional training, because whenever we take up some training program, obviously it has to have its own benefit, and functional training definitely has its own benefit. In terms of movement, functional training focuses usually on training movement patterns rather than isolating individual muscles, because as I said, movements are done in all the planes, not only in one single direction. So functional training definitely helps on training movement patterns. Moving on to the next benefit, posture. Functional training can help to correct bad posture and muscle imbalances, usually that are caused by daily grind. Grind is daily workout or daily stress, stressful jobs and hectic lifestyles and other things. Training the muscles of the core, training the muscles of the core helps us to correct these postural imbalances that can either or may lead to injury. Moving on to the third point, fat burning. A functional training program definitely provides a fantastic fat burning workout because it uses the full body exercises that improves strength, endurance. It definitely boosts metabolism, and you don't waste time in your sessions. Next point would be muscle tone, because all the exercises done in the functional fitness program are multidirectional and not isolated. It helps us to develop a strong body and a lean body, and definitely helps us to improve the muscle tone. Next point would be stability. So every session includes flexibility, mobility, core stability, balance, and strength training principles to keep your body constantly challenged in all the areas to have a very healthy and vibrant body. And that is how it helps us to keep our body stable. Coming to the core strength, we all know that every exercise involves core activation. So basically teaching the core to stabilize the spine against any external force throughout an array of differing movements, it helps to strengthen the core. So we have already looked into the principles and benefits of functional exercises, and the following picture shows us the exercises that can be included in our functional training program, like basic body weight exercises or simple barbell will do. These are some of the exercises being done with the help of kettlebells, like alternate kettlebell swings to help the shoulder joint, lunges and hip lifts, wood choppers using cables, single hand push-ups using a basketball to improve your core strength and balance also. So these are some of the exercises that are included usually in the functional fitness program. This slide shows the equipments that are usually used in the functional training program. These are very simple and basic equipments like the battle rope, the Bosu ball, ladders, agility ladders, hurdles, cones, kettlebells, dumbbells, Swiss balls, ankle weights, etc. These are some of the equipments that are mostly used in the functional fitness program. So this slide shows how some of the functional exercises are done using the equipments. The push-up is being done using a Swiss ball to improve your core strength, at the same time improve your balance and stability also. The woman doing the exercise on the hopping on the Bosu ball to improve her core strength and balance. The picture above showing the animation showing a dumbbell, a wood chopper, which helps you to improve score, core strength. And the agility ladder definitely helps you to improve your speed, power at the same time. The alternate kettlebell lift. So these are some of the exercises that are done in the functional fitness program. Using the battle rope, lifting heavy weight dumbbells. Okay, now that we have already seen what functional training is, let me tell you that it's not only connected with fitness for everyday or day-to-day life. It is also not limited to adults because anyone, as we have already said, that functional fitness is for everyone who wants to take up or lead a good life throughout. So as people become older, their bodies turn weaker. That's for sure. It becomes difficult to do everyday work, and many people just give up because their body does not help them to continue. The truth is, fitness for the elderly people will make stronger muscles so that body movements are easier. It also aids with joint discomfort and flexibility. Functional fitness that is geared toward seniors is designed to help individuals continue to perform their day-to-day activities. So if you usually have a grandparent or parent or friend who is a senior, you may want them to encourage to seek out some functional fitness training. Because usually what happens is, as we grow older, tasks that most of us take for granted can become much more challenging. Simple activities such as stepping up to something like putting a coat on or putting a small article on a shelf above, or even simple activity like getting up from a seated position can become difficult for many people as they get older. So good functional training can help ensure that the seniors in your life can continue to perform these actions and perform them safely and confidently. Moving on to the scope of functional training from day-to-day fitness to elderly and to sports performance. In this slide, we can see that functional fitness can also help in improvement of performance. The principles that are used are in the same way that they are for normal fitness program. We are not going to go into depth in. Yeah, in this slide, we can see how functional training program helps to improve sports skill. Like as we can see an athlete doing skiing here, the movements or the muscles that are being used while drifting on the ice, the person in the picture below, or the woman in the picture below, is doing the same exercises or mimicking the same exercises that are being done in the actual skiing. So this is how you do exercises which mimic activities or sports skills that we do in a day-to-day life. So these are some of the exercises that we have already seen. Whenever we are planning to push vertically, obviously it helps us with the shoulders and arms. Pushing horizontally, we improve our chest and arms. Pulling vertically definitely helps us with our upper back and arms. Horizontal movements helps us with the mid back and arms. Squats definitely helps us to improve our legs and glutes. Bending. So, dear, these pillars, and let me just summarize the whole thing, whole concept. Functional and ideal concept to follow if you want to be fit to do your day-to-day activities with ease and without injury. It also helps rehabilitative training program, emphasizing on bringing back the injured part back to its original activity level. Other than normal fitness, it is also an aid in improving performance of an athlete by focusing on a particular functional skill and an athlete wants to develop. Functional training programs can be done by using your own body weight or any equipment available at hand. So that is the best thing about functional fitness. Whenever you think of adopting a functional fitness program, you can do exercises even using your simple body weight, or else you can use any equipment that are at hand. Like a simple water bottle can be used as a dumbbell, or a simple push can help you to improve your shoulder strength. A simple squat can help you to improve your leg strength. So functional for doing exercises in the functional fitness program, it's not necessary that you go to a gym and do some gym exercises. You can even stay at the comfort of your home and take up the functional fitness program. So with this, I've come at the end of the session. So I would like to thank Dr. Krishna Yadav for having given me this opportunity to place before you the concept of functional fitness. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any clarifications or any questions regarding this topic, you can ask or you can type in a chat box.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell all the dear participants that because this concept of functional training is relatively a bit new to our Indian context, I'll just try to emphasize on the basic concept of functional fitness. I've not tried to venture into the use of functional fitness for sports, enhancing sports performance. It's just that I just wanted to keep in front of you the basic structure of functional fitness program and the key principles associated. Thank you.
For basic fitness and for health reason, you have explained, sir. Yes, any questions, dear participants? Sir has explained basic concept of functional training for everyday life, or that is everyday fitness. Sir, here one questions from Sukshan Patil. You can see in the chat
Yeah.
box, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, Ashwin, sir.
Yeah. I can see the question.
There is a one question from Sukshan Patil, sir. Yes, excellent.
Yeah, how many functional?
How many functional training session could be included during uh, in the pre-competition season, sir?
Let me tell you one thing. That is why at the end of the session I said functional fitness is a concept. Like it has nothing to do with competition. Like if you want to use it for your day-to-day fitness, you can design the program in that way. And if you want to improve your sports skill, you can have a program in that way. We cannot segregate functional fitness exercises into something called as pre-competitive, during competitive, and post-competitive. Like any exercises you are specific about. Like in case you want to toss the ball high up in the air in volleyball and smash properly, if that is the case, then you will have to use exercises which mimic that particular skill or mimic that particular activity. So if you want to do it as a pre-competitive way, you can do it, or else if you want to enhance the same skill for the competition, you can do it. It's not that you have to be very specific about the sessions. and there are no limitations for it. So as far as I think, I don't think there can be any limitations put to a functional fitness program.
Okay, sir. Sir, that means, sir, the exercise should be related to the skill.
Yeah, if someone wants to improve a particular skill, then that
Hello,
exercise
sir.
should be connected with that skill. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, it's audible. Audible. Krishna sir, it's audible.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Krishna sir, your voice is audible. Go on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That means directly related to the skill.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
That's what the different exercise in the. That's what, sir. Different fitness exercise are related directly related to the skills, particular skills.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So I
Any
said,
dear
whatever
participants,
movement you,
any questions you can ask directly. It's time for the. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir. Another question:
yeah,
is
is
it
it
functional training
right?
good for early adolescence period?
Definitely, functional training is good for all the age groups because what
Sir,
happens is if you have a good base,
for functional training,
audible?
is it good for early
Yeah,
adolescence period?
yeah. Functional training is definitely good for all age groups, be it a adolescent person, be it a adult, or be it a senior. Because and moreover, if you start functional training right from the adolescence age, then definitely he will have a very good base wherein he can improve his movement patterns, and that will help him to sustain it for a longer duration of time without having any injury in your lifetime. So definitely, it's a yes. Hello.
Ashwin sir, good morning, sir. Hello, Ashwin sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir,
You
good
are
morning,
audible.
sir.
Good morning.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning.
Sir, one more question is there, sir, in chat box. I think so. Krishna sir is, I think, he's not able to get our audio. I think so.
Yeah, even my audible. I mean, voice is not that audible. I think. Yeah, you can
Hello,
go on
sir.
with the question. Ah, Krishna sir, I can listen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The connection was lost here. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Dear participants, any questions, please you can ask. Otherwise, it is time for the conclusion.
Sir,
Sir
one more
has
question is
explained
there, sir.
the. Yes, yes, you can ask.
Sir, in the chat
Ask
box,
directly, sir.
someone, sir, someone
So,
already put in
okay,
the
you
chat
can.
box, sir. Sir can see that.
Yeah, I saw the
Okay,
modulation training, right?
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Sukshant, I don't know about modulation training, so sorry with that.
No, sir. Someone wrote that Mani Muthu
Yeah,
asked that question, sir. Actually,
yeah,
I am
it's
also
fine.
not aware about that.
Maybe this. No, that's fine, not an issue. But like for me, I don't know
yes,
much
sir.
about.
I think that is the questions from a different topic, I think. Hmm? Okay, sir. So, any questions, please you can ask. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Sir, you are audible, sir. Krishna, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, it's time for the conclusion. If you have any doubts, you can ask directly. Otherwise, it's time for the conclusion, sir. Thank you, sir, Dr. Ashwin, sir. You have given a wonderful speech on the functional training for the everyday life. On behalf of College of Horticulture, Mundrabad, and behalf of University of Horticultural Science, Bagalkote, and behalf of organizers, I thank Dr. Ashwin R for the giving wonderful presentation on the functional training.
Thank you, Krishna sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the
Okay, sir. Welcome. Sir. Okay, we will rejoin at 2:15 p.m. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, the next session will start at exactly 3 o'clock. I request everyone to join. The yesterday's speech will be released today. Due to some technical problem, we can't able to send the questions. Today we'll send the questions. Thank you.